Okay, so in this session we're going to talk about what our plan of action is, okay? What is Boomerang about? So first things first, Asif is looking at me like, why Boomerang? I mean, what does a boomerang have to do with anything, right? So normally these kind of projects, they usually have some name that nobody understands, right? But Boomerang is the same in English, it's the same in Zulu, it's the same in Swahili, it's the same in Turkish, in Malay, in Spanish, in French. In most languages, the word boomerang is the same, right? Okay, so that's one reason why Boomerang is a good name. It's universal, right? But well, there's one beautiful quality that a boomerang has. Who can tell me what that quality is? Okay, some of you, it seems like some of you have it, right? But yeah, so a boomerang, no matter how high it flies, no matter how fast it goes, no matter how far it goes, a boomerang never forgets the place where it came from or the person that helped it to fly, right? This is a full-size football field. How many meters do you think it is? About 100 meters, right? And the world record for the furthest boomerang throw is 278 meters, right? That's nearly 3 football fields. So once again, no matter how high it flies, no matter how fast or no matter how far it goes, a boomerang always comes back. What's another way to say that? A boomerang starts with L. Huh? A boomerang is loyal, okay? And loyalty is a very important quality that we need in this project, okay? Both in the project, both in you, loyalty, just like a boomerang, is very important, right? And besides that, if you look at the word boomerang, it's just a fun, catchy, it's a word full of energy, right? Similar to the youth, you guys, right? Okay, so who does this project involve? Who plays a part in this project? So we have 3 groups, right? Group 1 is the most important group. If we were building a house, group 1 would be the bricks and the cement. That's how important group 1 is. There is no project without group 1, right? Asif, if we were building a protein, what would group 1 be? Fine?
Amino acids.
Excellent, the amino acids, right? So group 1 is the core of this project. Who is group 1? Excellent, the students, you guys, right? So what are some of the challenges that our students have? Well, Asif says, for me to empower my community, first, what do I need? I need to get financially stable. I need to have a good profession, right? In order for me to have a good profession, I first need to get into a good university or a good faculty, am I right? And for me to get into a good faculty, what do I need? Good results, good marks, right? So what Asif is saying is, I need academic support or I need guidance, okay? And and how can we achieve those high grades? So let's say you wanted to develop big muscles, right? Who do you go to for advice? A bodybuilder, right? You're not going to come to a guy like Fahim or I, right? You're going to go to somebody like Saeed who has a nice big build, right? Okay? And this is Saeed here, right? And if you wanted to get good grades, who do you go to for advice? Obviously somebody that's already done it, or somebody that's already proved they can get the good grades, meaning that they've done things the right way, right? So who do you go to advice for? Students with high grades, okay? And I haven't told you this because I didn't want to, feed their egos, but all the students that have been coming in for all these weeks are all high, high A students, okay? They all have high A aggregates. Fahim over here even had 7 A's in matric. The other guy who came, he had like 6. The other guy, all of them are A students, right? And if you speak to them, and if you ask them, what they did to get those grades, you find 3 things in common, okay? And I call these the 3 C's of success, right? I spelled it wrong intentionally, okay? So our first C is clarity, clear understanding of the topic, okay? So how did our students achieve clear understanding of the topics? First, all the students that get top grade, you'll notice they go to the best schools, right? Meaning that they have the best teachers to explain those topics to them, okay? And even with that, most of them, I would say like 95% of them, still go for out-of-school tuition where they have even better teachers explaining those topics to them again, okay? So with that, they get a clear understanding of the topics that they taught in school, okay? The second C is consistency, meaning that they study consistently over the course of the year, right? And the third C is commonly asked questions or past papers, right? Why do I call it commonly asked questions and not past papers? So that it can start with the letter C, right? So, okay, so it is without looking at the board, what are those 3 C's? Okay, commonly asked questions, right? Okay, so let's talk about clear understanding of concepts of topics, right? We said that how do they get it? By going to the best schools and getting the best out of school tuition, right? But obviously we don't have that opportunity here, right? Do we? Of course not, right? So until 2013, we had a big disadvantage over those students because they were getting the best education compared to the education of public schools here, right? But fortunately, we now have companies like Mindset Network, which basically what they're doing is getting amongst some of the best teachers in South Africa, getting them together and covering the entire grade 10, 11 and 12 syllabus, right? Or at least 80% or 90% of the syllabus. Meaning that we have access to the best teachers in South Africa, right? Then we also have other companies like Khan Academy, but these are more general, okay? Mindset Learn, for example, is focused on the South African syllabus, okay? Okay, so some people, may not agree with this idea of pre-recorded lessons or lectures, okay? They say, no, you have to have a tutor. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to compare a tutor to those lessons itself, right? So let's say we get a tutor coming in here. If we're lucky, we'll get a really good tutor, right? If we're lucky. And what about the tutors in the lectures themselves? Those are not just good teachers, but those are amongst the best teachers in South Africa, okay? A live tutor may be only able to come into a certain time, or certain days, so they're not going to really be flexible with the program you guys have at this institution, right? And all of you go to different schools, you do different subjects, different times, so a tutor isn't really flexible in that sense, okay? And what about the pre-recorded lectures? Can be accessed at any time, okay? A live tutor is limited to one topic, one subject, because a maths tutor can only teach you maths, am I right? And on a day, he can only teach you one topic. So let's say Asif has already finished equations, and you haven't done that topic. The tutor can only teach one topic at a time, okay? So what about pre-recorded lessons? Each student can study the subject that they need or the topic that they need, okay? A tutor goes at one pace. So he either goes at the pace of the slowest student. In that case, what happens? The quicker students will get bored. And if he goes at a pace that's too fast, the slowest student doesn't understand anything, right? But with pre-recorded lessons, a student can go at the pace they want. So you can stop. If you didn't understand something, you can go over it again. If there's something that's too easy, you can skip it, right? A tutor has to travel here, so that's expensive and time consuming. Pre-recorded lectures, we just have. The only traveling you have to do is from the dorm to the computer room, right? Tutors, this is probably the biggest point, okay? Tutors are very, very expensive, okay? And we don't have that kind of funds. Pre-recorded lectures are free, okay? So there are some disadvantages. like the fact that we only have grade 11, 12, 10, 11 and 12, and that subjects like English can't just be learnt over 3 years, okay? You have to have a good foundation. If you ask me what was the most important subject in school, I would have told you physics, maths, life sciences. But if you ask me now, what do you think is the most important subject that you learn in school? English. Definitely, English is, in my opinion, the most important language we learn at school. So not having that in our videos is a bit of a disadvantage, am I right? So how are we going to overcome that barrier? So the idea that we have is a reading club, okay? Meaning that each student is going to be reading for 30 minutes a day, okay? And we're going to pick books from mainly South African authors. This is one of the books that I'm reading. And we're going to pick books that are both like relatable to your lives and also in a very simple English, okay? And this is also one of my favorite books by Trevor Noah called Born a Crime, okay? And the cool thing about some South African authors is that, like both these authors have responded to my emails saying that they're willing to donate books to this institution, okay? Okay, so Reading Club is not Trevor Noah himself, it was his publisher, okay? So, Reading Club for junior we said is how long? 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes a day. What are some of the advantages of reading for 30 minutes a day? It's going to increase your vocabulary, right? It's going to increase the speed at which you read. And these two things are going to help you in all your other subjects. Ask the life sciences guys, when we're doing questions, sometimes it's not that we don't understand the mechanism or the concept that's being asked, but sometimes it's just one word in the question that puts us completely off. Like for example, the last time we were doing a topic and one of the questions was, how is this process significant? If you didn't know the word significant, you lost out on the question, okay? What's another word to say significant? How is that process, how is it important? That would have made sense, okay? Okay, 30 minutes a day creates a routine. It disciplines you, okay? Because even when you go into campus and stuff, it's very important that you have a set amount of time that you're studying for every day, okay? It's going to improve your pronunciation. So this is very, very important when, when you start campus, when you get a job. It's very, very important the way you're able to present yourself, okay? And unfortunately, we live in a world where you're judged on how well you speak English, okay? People judge you based on how well you speak English. Maybe you can be the best doctor in South Africa, okay? But if you come here and you can't explain the case, people are not really going to trust your opinion, okay? All this is going to help you to express yourself. All of you have great ideas, but, well, many of you have great ideas, but the only problem is that we have difficulty to express those ideas, okay? And it's going to be, like we said, very helpful in your career, okay? I mean, if you asked me before, I would have told you, like, if you become a doctor, it's very important to know life sciences, okay? But even when you're a doctor, a lot of the time you have to do things like presentations. Even if you're as a CA, right? Don't you have to be able to speak very well and express yourself? So it's very important in your career as well, okay? This is the hardest point to convince you of, but trust me, initially it's not going to be fun, okay? But after you read 2 or 3, 4 books, you're going to start enjoying reading, okay? And I promise you it's going to be very fun. Okay, so Reading Club is not only for the junior students or the high school students, it's also for the senior students, right? And it's a little bit more than that, it's 45 minutes a day. This program is going to be organized by Maulana Chimbwe and Saeed. They're going to organize the material and select what you need to read in order to be spiritually uplifted, okay? And the way we're going to test that you guys are following with this is by having monthly tests. One day a month, do a summary on what you've read and, present that, oral presentations, okay? Okay, so we spoke about the 3 C's of success. The first one was clear understanding of the concepts. Second one was consistency, and the third one was commonly asked questions. Okay. So let's speak a little bit about consistency. What do I mean? So, in life, if you ever want to progress in something that you're doing, make sure that you record what you're doing, okay? If, let's say, for example, you want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, make sure that whatever you're doing, okay, that's one thing, but make sure you record everything that you're doing every day. What did I eat? How many calories did I eat? At the end of the month, how many kilos did I lose? That's going to encourage progress, okay? Because you're honest with yourself about what you're doing. Okay, so this is how we've been making sure that the students are consistent, okay? It's a little bit difficult to read, but what we have here is the student's name. For example, Idris Pandai, grade 12, on the date, what time did he start, what time did he finish studying that day, how long was his break, the total time that he studied, what video topic did he complete, if he completed another topic, did he complete a past paper. Q&A is when a volunteer comes in and does question and answers with you, and then we have total points, right? So on that day, for however many hours he studies, he gets 1 point. For completed video, he gets another point. For past paper, he gets 3 points. For Q&A, or attending a Q&A with a volunteer, he gets 2 points, okay? And at the end of the day, he has a total amount of points, right? And besides that, besides total points, what do we have? The mentor's name. So that was the person that was making sure that the students are being consistent and recording all that data, okay? Okay, group 2. Group 1 was our students. Group 2 is our mentors, people that, okay, let's see, what are some of the challenges that our mentors have? What are some of the challenges you have? So the students have academic support. What do you think are some of the students' problems our mentors have? Financial support, right? I know this because I'm in campus, and if you don't have support financially from family or relatives, it's very, very difficult to manage in campus. I mean, you've got to pay for this fee, that fee. I mean, there's travel costs. There's something, we've got to have something for lunch at campus. You want to have a coffee, you want to go out. That's what campus life is, right? And if you don't have that financial support, it makes your life very, very difficult, okay? So, what can our mentors provide us with? They can provide us with academic support. How? By mentoring the students in the group 1, okay? So what were the 3 C's? Consistency, I put it backwards this way, commonly asked questions and clear concepts. So the one that they're going to mainly help us with is making sure that the students are consistent, okay? By how? By recording the data, like how we saw in the previous slide. And at the moment, most of our students are doing economics and business management, so we're quite limited, right, in what subjects they can help us with. But for example, next year, we have, Abbas and Asif and guys that are doing physics and maths, pure maths, maths literacy, life sciences. So basically, these guys are covering all the topics. So next year, they can help you solving these past questions and also making sure that you guys understand the concepts when you're watching the videos, okay? Okay. So we're speaking about consistency. How do we know that the mentors are being consistent? Because when they record this data, on the last column they're recording their own names as well. So to show that this is what we've been providing, okay? Okay. So we've spoken about group 1 and we've spoken about group 2. Which group is left? Group 3. So inshallah, after the small break, we'll talk about group 3 and what's their role in this project, okay?